I've been around the world a couple of times, or maybe more. Seen the sights, I've had delights on every foreign shore. But when my mates all ask me the place that I adore, I tell them right away. What do we tell them? Give me a home among the gum trees, with lots of plum trees, a sheep, a tulip, a kangaroo, a cotton.
I'm just going to let you know today we're actually having a little bit of an arboriculture day, all about trees and getting children out in the environment and outside of their homes and their bedrooms and the yards that aren't so big today. So today's an event where they can get to come out and have a go at tree climbing, having a swing, being a part of nature, and it is so good for them. It's an industry that they can continue on if they want to, something outside of the everyday normal things that kids do, like your footballs and your normal sports. It's something a little different with a bit of adventure behind it as well. So it's really important that they get out and do these sorts of things, as it is so important that they experience life, and this is life and living, and I think, yes, definitely a wonderful opportunity for kids to get out and have a go. Also today is National Tree Day. We are here to obviously promote trees in a sense, in a way we can, by enjoying them, and something that is here that we've got in our environment every day that we seek to not use other than in an opposite way, in building or whatever, but we can use them for our pleasure and our fun. So Tree Day is all about getting out and celebrating or planting a tree for your environment. Yep, I think one of the most important things about these events too are the people who give their time to come and volunteer. All of these guys work in the industry and are willing to give up their time so that they can come and help out and share their experiences, and obviously a great opportunity to be involved in a good industry.
Hey, what do we tell them? Give me a home among the gum trees, with lots of plum trees, a sheep, a tulip, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old...
Today, with the Botanic Gardens and the Northern Territory Arboriculture Association, in recognition of National Tree Day, the NTAA has put on a kids tree climb, and as you'll see sooner or later, a demonstration tree climb from some of our workers up here in the industry. So it's all voluntary, as basically to introduce the general public into arboriculture and tree climbing. An arborist is basically a qualified, they've either been to TAFE or university for up to sort of 3 to 5 years. And our main endeavour is to maintain trees in the urban environment. So sometimes that is to cut them down, but a lot of the time it's if they're sick, or it's, you know, it starts from planting trees through to growing them up until they're mature, to eventually possibly removing them. And part of that, being an arborist, is a lot of the time we don't have areas where you can easily access them with cherry pickers or cranes, and that's where tree climbers come in. So the Northern Territory Arboriculture Association was set up 3 years ago, and the main aim of it is to promote safe arboriculture in the top end. And part of that is we host a tree climbing championships every year right here in the Botanic Gardens, and from that our top 5 competitors get a position in the Australian Tree Climbing Championships. Also with that, we've held quite a few different workshops that are all basically been involved with tree climbing, plus now a few more involved with habitat creation and different tree management strategies. And the aim is to continually promote, one, people to use qualified arborists in the care and removal of their trees, and 2, for tree companies that are already up here to do the correct training and try and train their guys up to be qualified arborists.
You can see me in the kitchen cooking up a roast for Vegemite on toast. Just you and me, a cup of tea. Later on we'll settle down and go out on the porch and watch the possums play. Give me a home among the gum trees,
Brilliant, really good, really exciting and good activity for the children. Obviously, we'll come again when it's on again. Really good, and because it's free. I came here today because it was advertised and it's National Tree Day here, and obviously coming to make the children aware of how important trees are to us.
A sheep, a tuak, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. You can see me in the kitchen cooking up a roast.
Makes sense?
Just you and me.
This is my second go.
It is your second go, I thought so. Ready? Come on, put some effort in. You've got to help me then if it's your second go, because I'm wearing out. Right? Right, 2 hands on this one. Oh, pull again. I reckon you cheated on your first go. Slide him up. Ready? And again. Slide him up. And again. Slide him up. Right up. Right up. Right up. And you remember how to come down?
Yeah.
Alright, how high do you want to go?
Not that high.
Okay. Ready for a swing?
Yeah.
Big swing?
This time I want a big swing.
Alright. So I can go. Ready?
Or maybe more. Seen the sides I've had, the lights on every foreign shore. But when my mate till last.
Okay, so up in the tree at the moment, we've got Terry Boston, who is the current Northern Territory tree climbing champion. And he's in a beautiful rain tree in the middle of Botanic Gardens. Give us a wave there, Tez. And he's about to do a demonstration tree climb. So this is basically a similar setup to what we would do in the tree climbing competitions. And the idea of the comps is to promote safe arboriculture, and also it helps us to be more innovative with different types of equipment and different methods of climbing, and it brings all the climbers together to brainstorm a bit. But it pretty much, where the tapes are in the trees, is to mimic what we would do normally to prune a tree. So you climb out to the end of a branch, you take a pruning saw out and you just slowly reduce the branch or remove the dead wood off it or prune it off a building, all those sort of things basically, to try and make the tree a bit safer or reduce the risk of it failing. So Terry's one of the top climbers. He's also ranked in the top 10 in the Asia Pacifics and top 10 in Australia. So we'll talk him through as he goes. All right, Tez. When you're ready. So each station, you have to put your pole belt on, as you can see him do now. He's clipped in. Then you call stand clear. Tezza, call it. And we don't have bells in this one, but you normally would ring a bell at that station. Yes. So same again, pole belt on. Did you call it? Hands are out, rings the bell. And that's basically to mimic what we do at work. This is what we call a branch walk, which is in a rain tree it's perfect, but it's a nice long haul all the way out. And the same again, we would normally go right out in the tips. Clear. So this is good training for Terry. He's I think in about 3 weeks' time they've got what we call the state of origin. So we're going to have New South Wales against Queensland in a tree climbing. And Terry's originally New South Welshman, so he's going to go back down and help represent that. And so normally in a comp it's not just about speed, it's also about smoothness. And you get bonus points in different sections of the tree. So Terry's definitely been a little bit scrappy this time, I reckon. Well done. Smooth is fast, Tez.
That was good. Bit sloppy in places, but get it sorted by later. I'm Terry Boston. I'm 22. I live in Darwin, and I'm an arborist as a job. We do tree climbing competitions for a bit of fun and demonstrations like today. 2 months ago we had the Northern Territory Tree Climbing Championships. It was a pretty tough day. There was some good competition here. Ended up coming out pretty well. I won the preliminary events and ended up winning the Masters climb. So I was pretty happy about that. A few months before that we went down to the Nationals and got a top 10, which is pretty good, first time there, and I was pretty happy about that. And then we went to the Asian Pacific comp about a month ago and got another top 10, which is, I was pretty happy with that. It's first international comp and it was pretty tough, so can't complain.
Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep, a tuak, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back.
My name's Jamie, I'm 25. I'm a qualified arborist by trade, and I'm here today to basically help out with the kids climbing and teach them a little bit about what we do for a job and to do a little bit of a demonstration on the competition side of trees. The idea of this event is to basically get people to understand the idea behind a qualified arborist as a contractor instead of just a tree lopper. Yeah, as a sport, the competitive side of tree climbing is a good way to make work fun. You're basically training while you're working. I've competed in national, international competitions. I've won a New South Wales competition and placed in the Northern Territory competition not too long ago. Doing tree work is a great job. It's lots of fun, high risk, but good fun, big swing, good community. As you can see, we've got a big bunch of people here. We do lots of events like this between competitions, arbor camps and national tree days like today. It just makes a really good atmosphere, good community, and I'm really happy I'm a part of it.
What do we tell them? Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep, a tuak, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. You can see me in the kitchen cooking up a roast of Vegemite on toast. Just you and me, a cup of tea. Later on we'll settle down and go out on the porch and watch the possums play. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees.
Yeah, I'm just learning how to climb trees at the moment, just trying to get my qualification to cut trees and prune and check the health of the trees, this kind of stuff. Well, you go to uni or TAFE and learn the techniques of how to climb a tree and how to check the tree health and identify your trees and know what kind of trees you're working with and check the health as well.
Grab on the top of it and pull it down, right? So I want to lift you up. You want to grab it? Yep, that's it. Go again.
What do we tell them? Give me a home among the
Push him up. Push him up. Hold him underneath. Hold him underneath. Push him up. Draw it up, will you? Push him up. Push him up. Push him up. Step over. Push him up. Ready? Now get hold on to this one. Hold on to him. Now push him up. Here now. 2 hands on here. You keep pushing that one up. Right? Keep pushing him up underneath here. Push him up. Push him up. Push him up.
Go on, kitty.
Push him up. Push him right up. Right up. Move. Put this hand on here. Put this one on here with it. Now push them both up together. Push him up. Push him up. Yeah. Put your hands on here, kid. Both hands. Push him right up. Right up. Pull himself up. Push him right up. Push up. That's it. Yeah, right. Push him up. How about you? Right, you're right. Now I'll get you down. Right, now let go of the loop. Let go. Let you hang on. You're right.
Go on, kitty. Look at that.
Ready? Let him go, kitty.
It's just a great day to come down and bring our son. It's National Tree Day, so he's starting to get a real affiliation with nature and the environment, and it's good to bring him down and get him to realise the importance of trees and the part that they play in our society, especially with the expanding industrial base of humans. So it's great for him to recognise their importance and what it means to people in different ways.
Slide it on every foreign job. So we pull down. Slide it. Yep.
I tell them right away. What do we tell them? Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep, a tulip, a kangaroo, a butterfly out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. You can see me in the kitchen cooking up a roast of Vegemite on toast. Just you and me, a cup of tea, a line around, we'll settle down and go out on the porch.
Full of energy.
And watch the possums play. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep, a tulip, a kangaroo, a butterfly out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. There's a Safeway's up the corner and a Woolies down the street, and a brand new place they've opened up and they regulate the heat. But I trade them all tomorrow for a little bush retreat with a kookaburras called...
Well, I'm the father of Richard and I'm a lecturer teacher at Charles Darwin University, and so we're coming along just to promote arboriculture to the young people and to let them have a bit of good fun and see that you can work in this industry and enjoy yourself. It's a great thing to be in, great industry to be in. Caring for the environment and caring for trees and having fun climbing around the trees. Okay, well, my dad was a gardener, and so as a young kid I spent a lot of time walking around the bush with Dad and looking at trees. And then in 1966 I went to Burnley Horticultural College as a student and learnt horticulture. And then in 1971 I came up to the Northern Territory and worked out in Aboriginal communities. And eventually I went back down south and ended up a lecturer at Melbourne University, teaching and specialising in arboriculture. So I guess I've been involved for about 40 years and trained young fellas like this, Mike Walsh over here, who's now a teacher, Richard, my son, and many of Australia's arborists. So yeah, been around trees for a long time. So I've been involved in arboriculture since the early 80s as a specialist, and arboriculture is the care and maintenance of trees, and we like to think that it's the care of trees from planting stages, seed collecting and growing them, right through to pruning them, harvesting them when they have to be removed, making furniture out of the logs when we cut them down. And in recent times we've been doing some wonderfully interesting things, making nesting boxes in trees, cutting holes in trees for parrots and possums and all sorts of things, and actually trying to help the environment. So we ran a workshop last week where we were cutting lots and lots of holes in trees with chainsaws, making nesting boxes for parrots. So we've had little baby parrots born in some of the nests we've made, and we've had possums and bats, and we've made reefs in rivers now out of logs, trees we've cut down. We've put artificial reefs in rivers. So yeah, arboriculture is a very wide field. You'll find arborists who are seed collecting, arborists who run timber mills, and arborists who do a lot of pruning and street tree planting and tree planting. So many of the trees that are being planted around Darwin now are planted by arborists and pruned by arborists, and sometimes they have to be removed, and arborists do that. After the Black Saturday bushfires, we spent months and months and months assessing trees, and a lot of the arborists that I've trained spent a long time removing dangerous trees. So they can climb pretty well any tree you like. Some of the tallest trees in the world have been climbed by the arborists, and some of the biggest and most dangerous are being removed by arborists.
Some people like their houses with fences all around. Others live in mansions and some beneath the ground. But me, I like the bush, you know, with rabbits running round and a pumpkin vine out the back. By yourselves now. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of gum trees. A sheep or two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking one more for stay now. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep or two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back,